You in this battle, man, I'll soon be dead. I'll glue your face to my dick so I can fuck with your head. I got metaphors coming through my pores. You probably never been in a battle before, so I hope you realize your mistake. There ain't no party, got some candles, this won't be a piece of cake.
Folks, welcome to the Before Hours podcast, an internet radio phenomenon hosted by an occasional morning person. I ask the most interesting people I know about their sleep, their routine, life, love, stress, setbacks. You could write to us at the Before Hours podcast at gmail.com or slide into my Instagram DMs at Bobby Sheen LOL. But for now, comedian, friend, and I'm going to go ahead and say it, a good man, Chris Cheney. How you doing, Chris?
I'm doing well. How about yourself, my friend?
I am so happy to be with you on this very rainy day.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I woke up and it was raining and I was like, why even bother? And I'm like, I have to talk with Christopher today. It's going to make it all work it.
So if you didn't have this scheduled, possible suicide.
Possible suicide.
Got it.
Thank you for saving my life today.
No problem, man.
Hell yeah, dude. And you got here 10 minutes early.
Yeah, I try to be early when I can.
That is a level of conscientiousness for a comedian that I'm very impressed with.
Thank you.
So are you a hurry up and wait kind of guy?
No, I think just empathetic.
I like that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the main one. It's because people have been late for me and it's infuriating. So I wouldn't want to do that to someone else. You know, my mom said, treat them the way you want to be treated. So I try.
I like that you assigned the golden rule to your mom.
Oh, yeah.
I have that thing. There's a joke in my house because my grandpa would always say like these adages, and it was before the internet, so no one could like Google them and be like, actually, that was said by Ben Franklin.
Sure.
You know what I mean? So he like read something by Ben Franklin and he'd be like, early to bed, early to rise, makes a man healthy, wealthy, and wise. I'm like, wow, damn, Grandpa Bob.
He never cited his sources.
Never. He'd be a bad historian.
Yeah. That's who was that? Michael Scott who would do that?
Yeah.
Yeah, he would quote the person who quoted, but then he would wrap it all in quotations again.
Mm-hmm.
Smart move.
You miss 100% of the shots you never take. Wayne Gretzky, Michael Scott.
That's right.
That is a nice quote, but to me it's like, yeah, you're fucking Wayne Gretzky though. Like he can't conceive of there's people that miss 100% of the shots they do take.
Right. I like the one, John Madden had one, I think it was John Madden, where he said 90% of the game is half mental.
Okay.
That one,
oh,
that's nice. Because what does that mean? You accept it and you're like, yeah, but then you're also like, wait, what?
Okay, it took me literally like you looking at me like, isn't that stupid for me to be like, oh,
exactly.
Oh, yeah.
No, exactly. But then it's John Madden. You have 2,000 video games. You don't get that for no reason. Dude, it is half mental. Mm-hmm. But then you're like, what is half?
So it's 45% mental?
Is it? I don't know, dude. But that's why he had the video games and we didn't.
Dude, I know, and I'm sure you do too, so many comedians that confidently say things on stage that are nonsensical.
Oh, yeah.
But if you have enough confidence, there is this thing where people are like, we gotta laugh at it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, my girlfriend does this thing where she tells me something that's 100% wrong with full confidence. Mm-hmm. And then I go, well, I guess you're the woman I'm trying to make happy constantly and you're telling me something, so I'll listen to you. And then I find out later it's like not true at all. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, do I just let you get, is that gaslighting? Am I being gaslit constantly by my girlfriend? I think I am.
I think if a girl does it, it's fine though.
Oh, that's right.
Because it's just like girl power at that point.
Yes, dude. Yes, girl power, girl math. Yes, they find their way.
Girl math is a great meme because if I or you, Chris, with our toxic masculinity, make a joke about women being bad at math, that's wrong.
It is.
But if you're a girl and you're like, here's some faulty logic and I call it girl math, people are like, that is a great bit.
Yeah, I'm going to buy this coat, but not buy Starbucks for a month. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm like, yeah, okay, that's great. Because also you're buying that Starbucks. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? They're going to buy it.
You won't. Okay, well, if they're anything like me, because if I make a purchase, I'm like, all right, well, rein in for the rest of the week. And for me, 2 days of, say, not buying coffee in the morning, I'm like, that's basically a week. Like 2 days is basically.
You're like, I've saved $500.
It's not girl math. It's low impulse control math.
Or, Irish math, I think, is the other one, too. Because we're not good at math. Mm-hmm. We're like, yeah, I just spend the money. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, we're not trying to, there's no philosophy there. There's like, yeah, we're just going to spend it.
And that's where the term Irish rich comes from.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, well, it used to be worse.
I know the one. Martha Stewart talked about it one time, I think. Right? Didn't she talk about Yes. Yes.
I love the idea of Martha Stewart being like, I've been to prison, so I could talk about this now.
Yeah, I mean, pretty tight. Both her and Snoop. You forget, like two peas in a pod.
I remember one time people would post that meme for a while of Snoop Dogg and Martha Stewart together. And of course, it's very funny because they're two very different people. But of course, Martha Stewart has done time. Yes. Right. For a felony. And the caption was.
No, she did Fallon.
She what?
She did Fallon.
She did Fallon.
She got fine. They gave her the late night spot. She got time. Come on, folks. Sorry.
Hell yeah, dude. I think that joke matches my energy so much. Because I've podcasts with other people where I'll do a pun and they'll be like, hey, we're trying to talk about how we're the last bastions of free speech.
Right, yes. They're like on the philosophy. I love when open micers do like their philosophy, like what if we're not going to do it, who else will? Mm-hmm. It's like everyone else on the internet, dude. They're just saying the N-word, so we don't consider it real, but like it's the same thing.
Mm-hmm. I remember when I saw that meme with Martha Stewart, though. I have it's an unlikable quality, one of many, is that you just agree before you even know what it is.
No, I know exactly what you're saying, but continue.
If someone's wrong, I do have to correct them.
It's a tough thing to do, though, sometimes, because if you're in a new situation where you're not like, you like come off as a dickhead, you know what I mean?
I was hanging out with a group of people, many of which I didn't know very well, and one guy said, do you know the origin of the Italian slur, the slur for Italian people, WAP? And I'm like, oh, fuck. He's going to say this. And he did. He said, it's an acronym for without papers. And then you do something and you're like, I know as I'm doing it that it's the wrong move.
Oh, big time.
But I was like, well, that's actually a false etymology. It's really because the Italian word for dude sounds like WAP. Without papers is like made up.
Right.
It sounds fun, but it's actually not true.
Like swag.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
Secretly, we are gay. You didn't know that one?
No.
Dude, there was a whole thing where dudes wearing their pants low in prison was because that means it was like a signal that you can go like, fuck that guy. Mm-hmm. And then he would be swaggy.
Ah.
And it'd be like, secretly, we are gay.
Okay.
Yeah.
But that's not true.
I mean, I don't think so.
Okay. You know what? I think if I was in prison, I would get fucked regardless of how I wore my pants.
Yeah, I think so. I think I would too. I think you and I are both supple young boys. Even if we're older than them.
if you squint hard enough, you could see a woman's face. And if you're doing enough time, that might be.
And we have enough hair that they could hold.
Yeah.
Just really depends on what's going on.
That's why white guys in prison shave their head. It's not because they become skinheads. It's because they don't want someone to pull their hair.
Yeah, they don't want pretend pigtails. And I assume you have no back hair.
No, I am hairy actually, but I have such light hair. So I have red hair, of course, but I'm not happy about it either. But my arm hair is red, but it looks blonde because it's so light. So I actually am very hairy, but you wouldn't expect it. Like, I think if I took off my shirt, you'd have to squint to be like, oh, there's a lot of hair there.
I was going to say, because it might be nice to like put their hand on our backs because we have no hair. But if you're hairy, then it's just, they'll go for me first.
I have a softball size hair between my shoulder blades. Is that weird?
I don't think so, because I also have like a tramp stamp of hair.
Really?
Yeah, but that's it. It's just there. Mm-hmm. But it's light.
Yeah, and all your hair is the color on the top of your head?
Yes, very brown.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yes. Mine too. People ask that. They're like, does a carpet match the drapes? I'm like, why wouldn't it?
But
why would I have different color pubes?
It's because that's why they ask. There's been a misinformation around because I guess apparently sometimes it doesn't. So that's why they have to clarify.
Interesting.
Right.
You know what? I've never fucked a redhead. Because gross.
Yeah.
I think I'm not like, it's just never happened. I don't have a rule against it. I do think it's evolution's way of being like, let's not do incest.
Well, I don't think redheads, it's because at what point is it, all right, so wait, let me do the math here. Because there's a 1 in 4 chance for every redhead within a procreating couple to make another redhead, right? Isn't that what it is?
I think so, because it's a recessive gene.
Right. Mm-hmm. Okay. So
we are not doctors, folks.
We're not even Googling on this. So by my logic, I would think it's more ancestral for two redheads to be together because they're closer in genealogy than say two strange brown redhead people, brown hair people.
Brown.
I was like, brown people. I was like, don't say brown people.
Yeah.
That's it. But you're the redhead. I just functioned there for a second. You get what I'm saying, right?
I think you are right. And I think that's why like certain like insular cultures, they have like a lot of medical problems because there was incest for a long time.
Right.
That's actually being Irish. Like I feel like because I am 100% Irish as far as I know.
Sure.
I mean, no one's 100% anything, but the fact that like I look beyond my family tree and I only see people coming over from Ireland during the potato famine.
Sure.
I'm like, dude, a great grandparent or a great great grandparent, at some point there was a cousin marriage. You know what I mean?
Which they're doing that now, though, too. Like Jews around the block are just marrying their cousins.
Orthodox Jews.
Orthodox, yes.
That's what, if you say anything critical, you got to be like, I'm talking about the Orthodox Jews.
We're talking about the ones that are in the news right now.
Yeah. That's so fun, dude. You know what fucked them is that they had the tunnels, which is never good. It's never good. And the fact that there was a picture, I think the NYPD took a picture and there was a mattress there. And then as soon as I saw the mattress, I'm like, here comes.
Well, I mean,
here's the accusations of child rape.
What a bad time. Yeah. You guys were on the up and up. You know, everyone was like, you had that group of people had become like over the line of like person of color almost, I guess, right? Whatever you want to call that, where they were getting the same treatments as other minority groups, I suppose you could say. But then to have a tunnel, dude, like right after you got inducted, that's no bueno.
No bueno at all. Are you from New York?
No, I'm from Boston originally.
From Boston?
Yeah.
Dude, this is so fun because you seem like you're from New York. And people, this is a regular occurrence in my life. Other comedians will be like, Bobby, you're from Boston. And I'm like, I'm just Irish Catholic.
Yeah, you're just, yep.
Doesn't mean I have to be from Boston. Cool. Okay, so what was growing up in Boston like?
Well, to super clarify, because people get mad at you, you say Boston as a Bostonian or like a person from Greater New England, just because it's conversationally the easiest thing to pinpoint somebody. But I'm really from Andover, Massachusetts, which is like about, I don't know, 25 minutes depending on traffic away from the city. I went to school in Boston, so that's where I can sort of have like the real conversation about places inside of the actual Boston area. But it was cool, man. I mean, Andover is a very rich town, but we weren't like the richest family. On my way to school, there's a private school called Phillips Academy or Exeter, which is the #1 private high school in the country. It's their campus, which is a high school, is bigger than most like university campuses, even in the most rural areas of America. This place is huge, dude. And I would commute through that every day. This is a fun story. I'll lead you into this. So there was like, not tension, because the kids at Phillips Academy, they didn't know what was going on. They didn't really like leave campus. It wasn't something where they could like walk to the town center. I'm sure they could, but they were, they're children, they're minors. So they were like under supervision. We as public school kids obviously didn't have the same restrictions as them. We could do whatever we wanted. Granted, we're also kids, but there was this thing where like Andover High kids were self-conscious about the other kids existing. So there was like this tension where like, we're assuming they think we're retards.
Yeah.
Right. Because that's the #1 private high school in the country. So to sort of lean in on them, or what we're assuming they're thinking of us, we played this game called Cat Boner. Now, if you were going to guess what the game rules were, what would you guess?
Cat boner.
Yes.
Ooh, the rules of cat boner. So does it involve an actual cat?
No.
Okay. I hope it doesn't involve an actual boner.
No.
That'd be wild if you're like, we did this fun hazing thing where we would get boners and put them inside the orifices.
It's like cats.
Dude, I cannot.
There's no Phillips Academy kids at all. We're just fucking cats. We're doing it because of the PA kids.
Now, fucking cats. Do you mean like actual cats or like cool black guys?
There's no black people in Andover, dude. It's like, this is a very white. Well, there was like 3, but we all knew who they were. You know what I mean?
Oh my God. So you're about to describe white on white violence.
Well, a lot of the kids that went to Phillips Academy were Asian, not. But so it's not white on Asian, but it's really just public school versus private school.
Right.
Okay, so allow me to explain.
I'm ready.
We thought that they already looked at us as like dumb humans. So like, all right, we'll lean in and we'll be dumb humans at them, and driving by through the campus, we just yell cat boner at them. That was it. That's 100% of the game.
Cat boner.
Yeah.
And did you ever win this game?
I mean, you won the second you yelled it. So yeah. Dude, I was constantly winning. I'm in the Hall of Fame of cat boner. I was on the other side of the school. So like I would literally have to go through, there's like one main road that you kind of have to go through, Route 28. You would have to like go through that and all of the campus to get to my high school from where I used to live, my mom's house. So yeah, I was yelling it every day, morning and night, to and from school at several different PA kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Instead of doing maybe like an extracurricular or.
Yeah. Well, if I didn't have detention or if I didn't stay for like have some after school program, because everyone would be home by the time I was going home then. But yeah, I was yelling cat boner.
Now, if you didn't have detention, were you a mischievous child?
No. Well, I would hang out with the mischievous kids and not participate in the mischievous stuff. But I was there, so by association, yes.
I relate to that a lot because the mischievous children, I don't know why we sound like 1920 journalists.
Yes.
But they're fun.
Yeah,
but
they're the funnest ones.
I remember listening to Bill Burr, and he said he liked going to summer school because the kids in summer school were funny, but some of them ended up going to prison.
Yeah, but it's the same. Like that's why we like hanging out with comedians because they're the fun ones.
Yeah,
they're the ones that are like, we're gonna go smoke weed over here or something. You know what I mean? It's like, and I'm like, yeah, I'll go. I don't want to smoke, but I'll go with you guys.
Yes, I have. That's my relationship because I don't drink or do drugs anymore. So I'm always right outside. What's that?
None.
Are you bullying me on mic?
No,
I hate being bullied on mic, dude. I hate it. I specifically asked you before we started recording, not bully me on the mic.
I didn't say anything.
Okay.
I coughed.
So I'm always like right outside the weed circle.
Yeah.
But you don't smoke weed either?
I smoke now as an adult. I smoke weed to go to sleep. But I don't like you'll never catch me blitzed at noon on a Wednesday.
Yeah.
You know? Never.
Yeah, I don't know how people can wake and bake.
Oh, it's insanity.
Yikes.
Yeah.
Cuz it's like to me it's one of two things. Either if you wake up and the first thing you do is smoke weed, either the whole day is a wash, right? Or you're so high functioning, then like, what is even then it just seems like something you have to do and it's not even fun anymore.
Yeah, I don't really like doing anything during the day. During the day bugs me. Like at night, I'll drink, smoke, except if I'm on vacation or something, you know, maybe some mushrooms or something like during whatever, like, you know, there's occasions where you could do stuff, but like Monday to Friday, 9 to 5, I'm like, what are you doing? Like, I can't do it. I have to be like pure.
Yeah, I relate to that at all. I mean, now I'm sober, so I have to be that way all the time, but being hungover is exhausting too.
Well, if you drink every day, then you're not really ever hungover.
Health tips from Chris Cheney, guys. Take notes.
Yeah. No. Yeah. If you just drink the same amount every night and you wake up feeling the same every day, eventually that becomes normal. So you're good. You know what I mean? You can coast on that.
Yeah. I don't know. Because I quit when I was 25, and I think being hungover at 24 and 25, they would last all day.
Of course.
And I remember one time I woke up 2 days after, like a full day of being hungover, and I woke up the next day still kind of fucking not feeling well.
That's what happens, man.
Dude, I was like, because it's this thing, because when I was in like college, I had this incredible ability to like drink my weight in beer, get blackout drunk, wake up 7 hours later, and I'm like, let's fucking go for a run.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
But that's because your body isn't damaged from, regular aging. And
regular Asian people, yes.
Regular Asians. Dude, I have an Asian friend. Pretty cool, huh? It's pretty fucking cool. And he gets Asian flush.
Oh, that's tight. Yeah, because they're allergic.
Because literally, not just like I say I'm allergic to alcohol because I'm an alcoholic, but literally like their skin gets like red and blotchy from just a little bit of alcohol. But from shout out to my friend, he doesn't let that stop him from drinking.
Oh yeah. So what I was about to say, so one of the kids that I went to Phillips Academy was my next door neighbor. He's an Asian kid. His name is Jason. I'm actually going to his wedding this April.
Shout out Jason.
So after this comes out, I've already been to his wedding. I went with him to the I think it was called pre-frosh frat like intro party because he was going to MIT, going to be in whatever I don't even remember. I don't even know. But he's going to join this frat. But it was like a pre-frosh party, and it's at MIT. It's an Asian frat. There's some white guys there. There's some black guys there, but it's mostly Asian dudes. So and he had never really drank before. I had a couple years under my belt of light drinking as a teen. Mm-hmm. So I go with him to this pre-frost party, and dude, it's just red Asians everywhere. Dude, it's strictly flush Asians in a townhouse, because that's where the frat was. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, yo, what the hell?
Yeah,
dude?
is everyone sick?
Yeah, I was like, because I never, at that point, never really seen my friend Jason drink. Mm-hmm. I had never been to a party where, I guess this kid Paul was always red, but I was just like, oh, it's whatever.
It's Paul's thing.
Yeah, it's just Paul's thing. It's Paul on this kid, this Asian kid, and then and then I was just in a full building of red Asians. I was like, yo, this is crazy. Are you guys like half Indian? Like, what is this, dude? I was like, I didn't know. That was wild.
Oh, I think it's something like half. I might be promoting misinformation at this point. Spotify is going to ding us, but I think like a huge percentage of Asian people, when they drink, they get the flush in their face. I would get red in my face too, but that's just like being like fat and Irish.
Yeah, I would get red from vodka. Ooh. I think, or like certain hard liquors. When I was a kid, I'd get red, probably because I just drank it too fast. Mm-hmm. You know, just 15 screwdrivers in 20 minutes.
Yeah,
I'll do it.
Oh, dude, I drank a bunch of screwdrivers one night. I think it's because we were young, and that's just like all we had access to was like vodka, and they're like, well, let's make this fun and like put orange juice in it.
I've thought about this before. I like because that's one of the first ones is a screwdriver, which is just orange juice and vodka. Like, but how did that become the one?
I have no idea.
Because I mean, what else would you say are like the standard like introductory drinks?
Oh, Jack and Coke for sure.
Jack and Coke, which seems way more reasonable than, because you're drinking it at night. Mm-hmm. Why would you go to orange juice?
Right. And something about a screwdriver is fucking trashy, because a mimosa is not trashy.
That's champagne.
Yeah.
That's fancy stuff. You have that with eggs. The morning drinks too, they don't make any sense, because like, who was the first guy to have a Bloody Mary? Mm-hmm. That was definitely like some booze bag who was about to get caught, and he just squirted a bunch of ketchup in his shit. And he was like, yeah, I made a drink, and he happened to have some cellar. I don't know.
And his wife is like, are you drinking again? You're drinking in the morning? And she took some of it, and she's like, this is actually very delicious.
Yeah. And then they opened a bed and breakfast, you know?
Dude, the first time I had Irish coffee, because I used to love whiskey and I still love coffee, but when I put them together, I was like, this is so upsetting. I just took two things I love and I made them both gross.
Well, you know what was funny? So I actually, when I first moved here, I lived on the Upper West Side or East Side, whatever. I was uptown. And I had rented a 2-bedroom, one of the rooms, for 3 months while I found an apartment. Mm-hmm. So coming from Boston, I had been there. And then the other room, this dude was renting out to his entire Irish family. So it was like 2 kids who had moved out. They still had like 3 months left on their lease. So they subleased. And for one of the months, it was his entire family. So it was a father, a mother, and 2 daughters, if I remember. I think they might have been twins, because I was very confused for the first couple of days, because I was like, this little girl just pops out of nowhere. And every morning, dude, the dad would be boiling tea water, but then I would watch him just put 3 shots of Jameson in the furnace and with the hot water and be out.
3 shots?
Yeah. I saw he would pour the 3 shots. This is at 8:30 in the morning.
That's wild.
And that he would go through the entire day of like tourism or whatever. Just like, that's how he started.
3 shot. Okay. Cause I was going to give him 1 shot. So I'm like, okay, maybe that's like a little,
3, bro.
Cause some people have like a little chocolate bar at breakfast.
Sure.
And it gives you like a little pizzazz.
Yeah.
1 shot, I was about to be a little skeptical. 3 shots. There's no way.
But it was like a furnace. You know what I mean? It was like a to-go mug for a guy who like, normally if that was a coffee, I'm like, yo, that guy's drinking jet fuel. But this guy was just watered down whiskey.
Okay, so it's hot water and 3 shots. There's no tea or coffee?
Not that I saw.
Oh, that's okay.
It's Irish tea, bro. That's like pure.
There's no way that man doesn't have a problem.
I don't know. Yeah, but this is what I'm saying, dude. He was the first one up every morning. Mm-hmm. Like him being up doing the tea was how I was waking up.
Yeah.
So like, I'm like, how I can't judge him too. Like he's high functioning. Mm-hmm. At one point, at how high functioning are you where it's not the problem?
Yeah, well, I think some people, I mean, if he's taking 3 shots every day, he is going to die earlier.
Sure.
There's no way you're like...
Live fast, die young, baby.
Yeah. Circle jerks. That's I don't know why I thought you were a punk rock guy for a second.
I was. If you had a reference to something right there, I was like letting you live.
Circle Jerks is our punk rock band who wrote a song called "Live Fast I Am," but it's one of those things where that has become more popular than them.
Got it.
But yeah, I think if he's taking 3 shots in the morning, that might be a keep the shakes away situation. Would he drink at night?
Not that I saw. And I never, because I know what you're talking about. People would crush milkshakes in order to sort of compensate for like the lack of alcohol sugar they were having. I never saw him have any sweets. I just saw him wake up and put 3 shots in a big furnace and go about his day. And I remember one day I kind of was like looking at him trying to figure out what was going on. He like offered me some and I was like, nah, I'm good. But like, yeah, he was generous, you know?
Oh, wow.
I don't know.
Huh. Well,
From Ireland though.
From Ireland.
Yeah, he was Irish.
Oh, it might be a cultural thing. I know some Czech people that drink beer in the morning.
You've talked to me about Czech people. Remind me your connection to Czech.
I lived in the Czech Republic.
That's what it was.
For a year post-college.
Got it.
So I graduated college, didn't know what I wanted to do, so I taught English for a little over a year in the Czech Republic. Czech Republic used to be part of Czechoslovakia, but now they're 2 countries, the Czech Republic and Slovakia. And Prague is the capital, and Prague is very beautiful. But that is the Czech Republic is where beer comes from. So they love beer.
I get it.
And they have that sort of European culture where they're just like, well, you could have a beer at lunch and that's it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But to me, of course, as an alcoholic, I'm like, well, if I have 1 beer at lunch, I'm going to have another one and
That's it,
another
buddy.
one.
Yep.
I'm like DJ Khaled with alcohol. I'm always looking for another one.
Yes.
So
Well, that's also one of the reasons why I don't like drinking during the day. The few times I do day drink, it will be the time to stop drinking, and I will be like, no, there's no. You keep going.
Keep going.
Yeah.
Let's keep this party rolling.
Yeah. Well, also because then you get tired if you stop.
Yeah.
Which I'm like, I don't want to take a nap.
Yeah.
No, you have another Modelo in order to stay awake. It's like a Red Bull at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
man.
This weird thing. So you mentioned, so you'll like smoke a little bit of weed before you go to bed.
Yeah.
So that's your nighttime routine.
Yes.
And don't worry, folks. We'll get to the morning routine eventually. But your nighttime routine. So is it weed every night?
Yeah. Generally speaking, so I'm in a 5-year relationship. I live with my lady. So there is sort of like this wind down routine that we've sort of accustomed to where it's like, you know, TV show we're watching, like on Netflix or something. And then she'll like get ready to go to bed. I go into my room because I stay up later than her. She goes to bed. That's when I smoke weed. And I've probably had a drink or 2 in the middle of this. But yeah, that's like the routine at night, pretty much.
Okay. So actual smoking.
Yeah.
You don't fuck with like the weed or the edibles rather?
No, you know, I would. I don't know. There's something about, because I used to smoke for 15 years, like cigarettes. So there is something nice about like the feeling of like smoking actual flower that I do enjoy. But no, I'm not opposed to the edibles. It's just, it's not something that hasn't really hit my stratosphere.
Yeah. So you like the ritual almost of actual smoking. A little bit.
Yeah, but part of the problem is too, as I started snoring. And I'm bad with it. And like, it's fucking up her shit. So I have to figure it out. But I think part of it is because I'm smoking so late at night. And so I have to try to figure out a work around that, which I might go back to vaping. I was vaping for a second, but then from like the time I got home at like 8 p.m. to when I went to bed, I was just straight sucking on this fucking electronic dildo. So trying to figure it out. But yeah, so I don't know. But yeah, I wait till usually she goes to bed just because it's not respect or whatever. It's just like, whatever. She goes to bed, I'll go smoke, and then I watch YouTube, whatever, write jokes, or, you know, that's where I do like the extra stuff where like, so I'm not a full-time comedian, but I've been doing stand-up. We've known each other a long time from stand-up. But so like that's when I'll try to like, you know, figure out some like joke tags or other stuff, at least, because then my mind is more open to funnier ideas. It's like, it's not limited by like the structure of what my day is. I get high and I can sort of like get beyond that. And then that's when I like, because you and I both have a joke about the penis game, or at least you used to do it. I don't know if you still do it now.
I don't really do it anymore.
So I wrote that at the first version of that night when I was high. I woke up with it still in my brain and I wrote the rest of it in the shower and I was clear. But it's like those moments of opens clarity.
Yeah.
While I'm high is very nice. So that's sort of why it's also a night thing too.
Open clarity is a great way to phrase it. And I've been sober for as long as I've done comedy, so I don't the closest thing I could have to that is if for whatever reason I'm sleep deprived.
Sure.
Something about my brain, I think it might be like smoking weed in that I lose a bit of like, what's the word I'm looking for? Like I'm less analytical and I'm more like almost like goofy. Like you know how they say like in order to come, you have to be like kind of dumb. You can't be like thinking about politics while you come. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I have to put myself in the right mind to come.
I don't know. I think about Biden and I get hard. So I don't know. You and I are a little different. This is weak, feeble body.
I guess it's.
Sorry.
I guess. You know what's funny about that is that didn't even register. I'm like, oh yeah, of course. Fucking. You know when I feel insulted is not when someone's trying to roast me. It's when, a lot of times when someone tries to give me a compliment, but it's like a non-compliment.
Oh, backhanded. Yeah.
Yeah. And I don't think they mean to do it. I don't think they're negging me.
Oh, it's like when someone's like, oh, your sideburns look good for like a guy with sideburns.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? And you're like, so you're saying sideburns are generally bad. Okay, I got it. But you're thinking I'm doing okay. So but it's still bad because I have. Okay, I got it. But yeah.
Yeah.
No, but off your sleep thing too, I think, I can't remember exactly what it was, but I think it's like if you've been awake for 24 full hours, it's the equivalent to having like 3 beers or something.
Yeah.
So I think that there is something to what you're saying about like the you feel goofy and silly.
Yeah. Oh, I went to an open mic being sleep deprived, and they had a joke about the Cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs mascot.
Sure.
And it was a great joke, but like ordinarily, you know how it is. You'd be like, yes, that is a good joke. Just plain face. You're like, I see how an audience would find that amusing.
Yes.
But it fucking tickled my brain in such a way that I thought I had to leave the room for a second. That's how hard I was. Like, piss yourself laughing. That's how much I was laughing.
There's something about, well, because I'm assuming this is like an alt room, or at least a more less set up punchy room.
No, actually, you know what it was is that was the first set of the night that was goofy.
Okay, got it.
So the aberration made me. Yeah, shout out to Jordan Spicy, dude. That's a great bit.
Spicy.
Oh, Maxim, were you at that mic? That was my mic. Oh, it's all coming together, dude. Yeah, that's why. Okay, so Maxim behind the camera, Ken.
Confirm.
Thank you.
Yes.
I'm not sleep deprived now, believe it or not, but he can confirm. Was I laughing in such a way that possibly frightened the other members of the room?
Like maniacally laughing alone.
Yeah, but that's usually how you laugh.
I do. I'm a big laugher, dude.
You're one of like maybe. Now, there's a lot of comedians we know, so don't take this number lightly. There's like 15 comedians I know where everyone knows it's them when they're laughing. And you are one of them, I think.
Yeah.
Me being one also, everyone knows when I'm laughing, which is why I've sort of been able to identify other freakazoids like us.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I'm not self-conscious about my laugh.
Yeah.
Self-conscious about a lot of things, but my laugh is not one of them. Because I think that like your laughter is a gift to other people, you know?
Sometimes, yeah.
Sometimes, yeah. Unless it's at an inappropriate time.
Unless I see someone with Down syndrome just fall off a curb and I start pointing and laughing, that's not a gift. God gave me a gift, but then I just look like an asshole to everybody else.
I used to work at a school in my early 20s, at a school for kids with special needs. And there was a little boy with Down syndrome. And if you laughed, he would laugh too.
Yeah, dude, they're the best.
Yeah, because he like obviously didn't, because he was like, I almost said really had Down syndrome. I don't know if that meant, but he was like very low functioning. So if you laughed, he wouldn't understand why you were laughing.
Right.
You know? But he would just, because he'd be like, hell yeah, dude, we're having such a nice time.
Yes, dude, that's why they rule. They're the broskies. Like 100%. That's why, like, I think that's why you can get away with all those shows now that are getting popular that seems like they're like, abusing their like inability to like, for them being like a love on the spectrum. That shouldn't be a show that's allowed.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? That's like, are you out of your mind? There's no way that should be a real thing, especially in the time we are now where everything's so political culture is like at its peak as far as content, monetizing lesser You know what I mean? I'm
Yeah.
trying to even be careful how I say it.
Yeah.
But there's literally, you could just watch people with Down syndrome dating.
Yeah.
Like full people who can't speak because of their autism, just like, do you want to kiss? And the one's like, yes. It's just filming these two people kissing. It's crazy.
Yeah. There's just almost this like they're just brilliant at marketing, because I think the person that pitched it was like, this will be funny, and then someone's like, this has to be about inclusion. I think
To add to every version of these shows, and like even the Special Olympics, like the guy who brought that to the table, there's always had to be somebody who going like, I mean, we could just do this with them, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know. It seems fun though.
Oh man, dude, what a great time to be alive. I'm gonna go ahead and say it. So, do you smoke weed every night? So it's part your creative process. It also helps you. Are you someone that needs to kind of wind down before you go to sleep?
Yeah, a little bit. So I don't know. It's not like every night. You know what I mean? So if like I go out for the night, like if me and my lady are out with like a group of people, or if I'm hanging out with friends or something, I usually will come home, and if it's like 12:31, I won't, because then it's too late. But if it's like, 11:45, that's kind of where I'm at my limit. Like if I'm already home, then I'll go smoke. So there's like yes and no's to it. But like for most of the time, I'm like smoking right before I go to bed.
I don't smoke, but I have to definitely wind down before I go to bed. Like
so what do you do?
A whole lot of nothing really. I go home and I eat a snack.
Sure.
And then I have no idea if this is true, but I read that you should wait a half hour after eating to brush your teeth. Because you damage your enamel if you eat and then brush right away. I have no idea if that's true, but it's something I read once.
Okay.
Part of my Reddit research, you could say.
Got it.
So anyway, I use that half hour time to just like chill. Sometimes I'm not creative during that time. I can't be. God forbid if I do have a thought, I get so excited by the thought that it's going to actually fuck with my sleep.
You
know what I mean?
I understand that. But yeah, because you're limited into what vices you can actually like lean into now, and that would be one where that would keep you up. I understand that. That makes sense.
Yeah. If I'm super wired at night, I will jack off.
I was gonna say you definitely jerk off for sure.
Well, I used to, but now I'm trying to. There's something nice about jerking off less.
Well, you're also getting older.
I'm getting older. Well, no, I'm always horny. The listeners know. The listeners know this, but there is something nice.
I mean, everyone knows just by looking at you. Everyone's like this guy wakes up with full wood every day.
I do, dude. Like a lot of comics are, because we're both in our mid 30s, like a lot, right?
Yeah, 35. Okay. I'm about to be 35.
A lot of comics our age are like, oh, now I have a hard time getting an erection. I'm like, what a blessing that would be.
I mean, yeah, I'm at the point where like, we'll go to dinner and like I have a bowl of pasta and then my girls look at me after like, I'm like, you just saw me carb load. It's not happening. You know what I mean? I need like an hour to digest and then I can meet you in the middle somewhere. But like, yeah, I understand exactly what you're saying though.
Yeah, it's this weird, cause okay. Not safe for work, what I'm about to say, folks. So if you're listening to this at high volume and your cubicle, you might want to turn it down a little bit. Don't be like Milton and play it at full volume. People are going to be upset about it. But I noticed that if I don't jerk off for like a week or even longer, eventually I will wake up in the middle of the night, rock hard, and a story in my brain that I need to jack off to. Okay. And that I think is beautiful.
Yes.
I think that's how like cavemen masturbated. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
In between rapes.
Right. Yes. And like, there you go. Where did I hit that girl and knocked her out? Where did I leave her? Where is this? You should find her. I'm hard again. It's time. It's time to come.
But because it's like, there's something, I'm not anti-porn, but there's something like a little bit sad about it, I think. I don't know what it is. I haven't always felt this way, but I do think like the best is making love to a woman you love.
Sure.
And if you're not there, then having a nice time with someone that you think is okay. Yeah. That's second. And then
pretty fun.
And then beyond that is like jacking off to your thoughts.
Tough.
Right? Tough. It didn't used to be tough. I used to do it.
Yeah, we all used to do it.
We used to not have access to internet and we didn't need it.
No.
And there's something weird about needing something that you didn't used to need.
Yeah, I mean, my mom used to try to pick up the phone and go, "Chris, get off the computer." I'd be mad. I'd be like, "Fuck," So yeah, then you have to go to your thoughts. But I don't know. People go back and forth on the porn. I think there's just people where like it's just not good for you. It's like, and that's just the type of person you are. Because I use porn constantly, and it's never been a thing where like I've always needed it. It hasn't fucked me up. I also don't watch like weird shit, which I think also is very helpful. I've stayed on MILF my entire life. Just stick with MILF. Because actually, no, I'm aging into what I like now.
Right.
Like it's always been the same. So it's just like now I'm just women in their 30s, seemingly.
Yeah.
I was just A to Z, and then now I'll be an old guy with the same taste I had when I was a young guy.
Right. Yeah. You can't go wrong to jerking off to a woman that's 35 because it's okay when you're 15 and it's okay when you're 55.
The fucking sweet spot, baby.
It's the sweet spot.
Yeah.
And that's where they're at their sexual peak.
Yeah, because if you're like searching, like, I don't know, 'cause, you know, there's those dudes who like the fucked up, like with the mascara running and shit. Like, if that's where you're at, that you should stop watching porn. That's not good, dude, because girls don't want that. Like, unless you find one whose dad hasn't been around forever, you know what I mean? Like, then you're just down the rabbit hole of just finding internally abused women for your like dumb sexual fantasy you had because you like watched too much
Someone's
porn one
taking
time.
notes as you're saying this.
Yeah, I know. Just leave that. Don't watch porn then, because girls don't really do that. You know what I mean? Just when they lay down and you're like, that 100% of what I need is right there. So you're good.
Yeah. Yeah. That's if you ever find yourself like, I've never been so far where I'm like, I have a woman in front of me and it's not enough.
Right.
But I have been like 10% less hard. And I'm like, that's the porn.
Yes.
That's the porn. You know what I mean?
Yes. I understand that. Yes, that is true.
And there's like oh God bless him. I read the subreddit Dead Bedrooms sometimes.
All right, you gotta not whatever this is. I don't know what this is, but you for sure not be whatever this subreddit is probably bad for you. Can you tell me what it is?
It's just it's
Dead bedroom.
Dead bedroom.
r/dead bedroom. Okay.
I feel like you're thinking it's a perverted thing.
Whatever it is, it's still not good. Just tell me what it is.
It's a support group for people. I don't know why I'm lurking because this doesn't apply to me, but it's a support group for people that their husband or wife will not fuck them anymore. So hence Dead Bedroom.
Yeah, why are you doing that, dude? You're just reading other people's tragic love lives, dude.
Yeah. Schadenfreude, or however you say that word.
Is that so you, because I do understand reading about someone else's life who's worse than you, generally speaking. It could be like, even if it's an article about like,
I mean, that's why some people are listening to this podcast.
Right, that's exactly right. So you're just going like, yes. You're just reading each one like, yeah, we haven't fucked in 6 years. It's like,
I do. Okay. Because someday I want to get married.
Sure.
Not to sound like a simp.
Right.
But there is a part of me that's like, if there's any warning signs that I could like internalize,
Sure,
know about, because I do think that one of the worst things, that's an exaggeration, but getting married and then hey, if you want to break up with this person, there's lawyers and money involved.
Right.
That sucks. So getting married and then your wife is like, maybe sex twice a year now instead of twice a week. That would drive me crazy. You know what I mean?
No bueno.
Medical problems and all that stuff aside, like if they're just like, yeah, I'm not feeling it anymore. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's no good.
So I do, but what's interesting, the men, the men don't have a commonality. Like if a husband's like, my wife won't fuck me anymore, there's not like a single, like there's not a, what's the word I'm looking for? Like a common denominator. But,
baseline.
Yeah. But with women, most of the women that are like, my husband won't fuck me anymore, it's because their husband is addicted to porn.
Okay, maybe that would make some sense. But there's still love there, you're saying?
Yeah, it's weird. I don't know. I think for men, what's happening is we're monogamous now, culturally, and we're not supposed to be. You know, like men are attracted to variety.
Sure. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I understand this. Yep.
So, and to me, it's like wanting your cake and eating it too. You know, like if you're like that's to me. And if it works for you, it works for you. But like the open relationships or like polyamory, that's wanting your cake and eating it too. Because the sacrifice of monogamy is you don't get to fuck other people.
Yes.
But the sacrifice of being single is that like you're going to be lonely sometimes.
Oh, but yeah. You know, I don't know. It's nature versus nurture, kind of, right? Because like at one point, because the way I guess a male is designed is to like spread the seed constantly, right? So that's where it's like we're not supposed to be with one person, we're supposed to be around like whatever. I don't know how true that is anymore though, just because the way of our society is when we've been born with the idea of one single partner, right? Even though there is like the internal makeup of somebody who's just ready to like spread the seeds as much as we can, we're sort of raised like this. So I don't know. It's I don't know. I'm sort of thinking out loud here. But that's an interesting thing to think about now because I don't know how true that exactly is anymore. There is some sort of like when you look at something one way for your entire life, which is a monogamous relationship, like at one point that is the natural way to sort of be a part of that, right?
Yeah.
Am I wrong?
No, I agree.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a nature versus nurture thing. Because like naturally you want to fuck a bunch of different women, but if you're raised culturally, but we're also moving away from that a little bit because it used to be, I mean, like even a generation ago, it'd be like, well, you graduated from high school, where's your fiance?
Right. Yeah. Too. But and I guess what you're referring to is like back in the day, there'd be like tribes, and it'd be like you didn't know who your dad was, but it was the tribes thing, right? Sort of. That's what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Which probably is the better way to have a society. I might agree with you there, but yeah, I don't think there's a way we can go back to that. So I don't know. So let's just all watch like gagging porn. You know, let's just, maybe I should just lean in. Maybe I should get the mascara stuff going.
The mascara running down her face is very sexy. I'm gonna go on record as saying, and listen, but I feel like if you could be like, and women don't like that.
Right.
So it's a fantasy, not achievable in real life. Yeah. Unless you, like you said, I don't very cynically, but like someone might like it, you know?
Yes.
But
I'm pretty sure there's a couple people.
Yeah.
The amount of porn that is, there must be at least one guy, one director who's really into it, who just like won't let it go. Or there's a couple people who watch it.
Yeah. But I will say, if the man gets too mean to the woman, I turn into a bit of a simp.
Oh yeah, my dick gets soft.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, why would you say that to her? That was not nice at all.
But I do like if a woman is I'm sure someone's gonna clip this, but if a woman's like, I'm a little slut, I'm a little dirty slut, deserves to be throat fucked. That is very sexy to me.
That does hit a nerve where you're like, yes, you are.
But
yes, you do.
If a second later the man is like, yeah, you are a dirty slut, I'm like, hey, don't talk to her.
Yeah, I'm like, no, that's not. What are we doing here? I'm going back to MILF, dude. Just MILF is it's just so simple. It's in and out, baby.
Yeah. Yeah, if you do, by the way, if you do just take like, maybe it's part of my addictive personality because I'll start with MILF and then eventually the mascara is going to start running down their faces. You know what I mean? So
no bueno.
Then I'll take a break. You know what I mean?
You have an intermission?
Intermission. A pervert's intermission, dude. No, but then a few days of break, you're like, I could go back to watching MILFs. That would be great. Yeah. I'll take some MILFs.
How many off the top of your head? Of course, it's just with two dudes getting in a room with a camera and all end up talking about porn.
Yeah.
How many videos do you have that are your go-to like finishing move? Like 100% of the time when you watch them, the job is getting done.
Ooh. Okay. Well, I'm on my pornless journey right now.
Okay, so scenarios that you often go back to. Mentally. Like what's your people's elbow? What's your off the ropes? What's your frog splash? What's your what's your leg drop?
Oh man. There's a porn star that has a very sexy JOI, and JOI stands for jerk off instructions.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's where she like.
Oh, you like being told what to do?
A little bit, yeah.
Hell yeah, dude.
I enjoy instructions. Well, the listeners know how much I love the rules. So when an attractive woman is establishing rules for me, that's very fun.
Yes.
But Cagney Lynn Carter, R.I.P. She just killed herself a few weeks ago.
Oh, I saw that. I saw that,
dude. You know how I was like, I'm too plugged into the porn world. I was at a show and a comic said, "Did you hear about the porn star that killed herself a few weeks ago?" And I was like, he's going to talk about Catelyn Carter. And then it was like almost like a type of street joke.
Yeah.
Like, did you hear about, and then it was like a pun
Got
or
it.
whatever. And as people are laughing, I'm like, I feel so silly that I thought that was about a specific person.
Dude, I forget who it was, but there was somebody, it was at a mic, and somebody was talking about how they can't watch the same guy, or like there's certain videos they can't watch because they see the same tattoo on the guy.
Oh, that's funny.
And in my head, I was like, oh, it's definitely the bullet guy. There's one guy who has like the sniper bullet whatever wraparound.
Maxim, can you pull that up for us, please?
It's like early 2010 porn or whatever. There was
Early
one
aughts.
guy
The
who was
golden
like
age.
rocking Brazers heavy, and he had like that one tattoo. And then it got to the point for me, I was like, I'm just watching this one guy fuck other chicks. I can't do that. But he brought that up. I was like, bullet guy. And then he was like, yeah, it is the bullet guy. And I was like, damn, dude, I gotta get off Brazers.
Yeah. Brazzers?
Brazzers, whatever.
You know what's funny? We don't know how to pronounce it because we so rarely say it out loud.
Yeah, no one talks about it. Pornhub, though, that's like a cultural. Pornhub does stuff. Brazers, though, they're just like, no, we only film. We don't say the name out loud.
You know what's funny? I just was just thinking about this. A lot of men, we probably know the same porn stars,
Of course.
but like we never, or like aside from like guys hanging out or comedians hanging out, like you don't talk about what
We never
you jerk
compare
off.
notes, yeah.
Right. Yeah. So, oh my God, we think about like who's famous, like who are the most famous people, like Donald Trump, Jesus Christ, Martin Luther King, in that order.
Then
You
Lisa
know?
Ann.
Then Lisa Ann.
Yeah, it's like, dude, I met Phoenix Marie one time, and it was the last time I remembered not being able to handle myself around a woman.
Ooh, okay.
It was, there's a streetwear convention called Agenda. I think this was 2014 or 15. My friend Corey Shapiro, who has a brand called Vintage Frames, it's like frame company. We were in Vegas, and I saw her from the back and knew exactly who she was. And I texted her, I was like, are you with Phoenix Marie? And he was like, yeah. How did you know that? I was like, because the way I saw them, there was no way that like a lot of people saw them together. Like he wasn't trying to avoid the crowd, but it's just like the way the convention was set up or whatever. Like he just took this weird turn. I happened to see her, then saw him with her because my attention was then focused. So I texted him quick. He was like, yo, we've been here for 2 minutes. How did you see that already? And then I was like, can I meet her? And he was like, yeah, come by, whatever. She's a dude, like, you know, she's a normal person, dude. You can come have a conversation with her. But I was so like, you know, you're not supposed to meet your heroes. You know what I mean? I was like very nervous. She was in my rotation regularly at the time. So like I interrupted a full conversation she was having with someone else. And I was like, hey, I like your work. Like, dude, it was the most, that 100% is the most autistic moment I've had since I moved to New York, probably. Like, there's been a lot of them, but like that one was really bad. And she was like, oh my God, sweetheart, like, thank you, appreciate you. And then she hugged me like to let me feel her boobs. You know what I mean? Like, solid woman. But yeah.
It's yeah, because she is a public person, and she is that her art is performing in a way that men will come to it.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
but it's such a weird thing
Damn,
to be
dude,
like,
you're a poet. The way you described how dudes jerk off to porn. Dude, her work is meant to be consumed, and men do it.
so it is. It's like, because in any other context, if you're like, hey, I love jerking off to you,
Yeah.
it'd be like, what the fuck did you say to me?
Yeah.
But it's a porn star, so you're allowed to say that.
Yeah.
I mean, you probably shouldn't explicitly say that, but saying I'm a big fan of your work is a polite way of saying I
Yeah,
masturbate.
dude, I literally went. I was like, excuse me, big fan. Like literally, I'm like, oh God,
So, Chris, are you a morning person?
night person.
Night person.
Yeah.
I collected that from. What's the earliest you go to bed?
Honestly, bro, I got to work on it. Earliest I go to bed's like 12:45.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And it's not bad, but I'm saying that's the earliest. If it was up to me and I had no obligations at all, I'm a 3:30. Like,
Okay.
I'm a night owl. I like everything I like doing is at night. I feel like I'm more productive at night. I feel like I'm more creative at night. Like even when, so like, you know, we didn't talk about it really, but so my design job during the day is like, it's very hard for me to sort of get the engine going. Probably because I've been up late, you know what I mean? So like waking up early after going to bed late, then going to work, I'm like, it's not really there. And then when I come home, I settle, I've ate dinner, Now I've smoked weed. I've maybe had a cocktail or a beer or something. Now I'm like juiced up and I'm ready. So it's always night. Mornings, I wish I was a morning person. I'm not. I can't do it.
Yeah. Yeah, well, that makes sense. I mean, I'm a little jealous because like the listeners know I'm like naturally a morning person.
Yeah.
But you can't do comedy at 3 p.m.
No.
So I have to like kind of force myself to.
Dude, even I did a brunch show recently and I had like acid reflux from my coffee still. And doing stand up with coffee breath is weird.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, I'm like, there's something's wrong here. But yeah, I get it. Because when you're the most alert, should be when you're doing stand up, but that's like the complete opposite time. It sucks.
Yeah, it's interesting because like if I have a late spot, I'll drink caffeine to be awake for the late spot, knowing that it's gonna fuck me later, like that I'm gonna be tossing and turning.
So what do you do to go to bed? What's your thing?
So I don't take any substances because
you just jerk off.
I've even tried to not jerk off. Now I just accept that sometimes I get less than 7 hours of sleep.
Damn, dude.
Just like acceptance.
What an adult thought.
Yeah.
That's fucking crazy.
So do you have a morning routine?
It depends on the day. If I'm going to work, if it's a Monday through Friday, not really. I wake up. The lady is an early riser. She's not a morning person, but she wakes up before me and she makes coffee. I shower, have coffee. Her and I will play Wordle and Connection together in the morning, but that's it. It's not like a real routine. You know what I mean? I don't go to the gym. I don't, do like some yoga shit or whatever. Like it's just, I wake up, I barely make enough time for me to get dressed and go to work.
Okay.
That's
yeah.
it.
I relate to that. I mean, I've had to be in the position where I'm like, all right, you're awake and you have to be somewhere in an hour. And I hate it.
Yeah. I understand that too. Even like today, we're midday, but not exact time or whatever. We're in so I'm actually only a 10-minute walk. There's a 10-minute walk from my apartment.
Ooh.
Yeah. But I woke up at 10:30 and I still felt like I didn't have enough time before I got, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Mentally, I was just like, well, if I wanted to sit for like an hour, drink coffee, then I have to get out and then I have to start doing shit. You know what I mean? So like, I feel like I'm just mentally, I'm always going to be doing the bare minimum in the morning, no matter what it is.
Okay. Yeah. I sort of, I think I have to, because I have like a very strict routine and it keeps me from going off the rails.
Sure.
Because I think if I didn't have a strict routine, my morning would turn into stare at your phone for several hours.
Yeah,
ruminate about your mistakes. You know what I mean?
I get that. Dude, I'd much rather be just like after work, eat. Then I'd rather go to the gym. I'd rather do everything at night. I don't like doing it in the morning. It's crazy to me. And I get like, I've definitely played basketball at like 10 a.m. before. And like, it sucked to get there. And like, it definitely didn't play my best. And after I felt like pretty good. But after I was like, yeah, that wasn't really worth it.
Yeah.
Even if I felt better, I'm like, but I had to get up to do that. That's yeah. So like always night, bro. Night's my shit.
Yeah. I think the night time is when fun things happen too.
Of course. What's fun at 11?
Nothing's fun at 11 unless you plan it. Like if you plan that basketball game, you're like, well, we could do planned fun in the morning.
Well, even then I'm like, dude, I'm here. It's 11 and I'm pissed off about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's tough.
Are you a sports guy? You mentioned
Sometimes.
basketball.
Yeah. I play basketball, but that's part of like me trying to get back in shape. But yeah, I do like basketball. I do watch basketball, Celtics. Some football, but not too much. I'm not like the chatty Cathy. I don't got like autism stats that I can just rattle off.
Yeah.
Also being from Boston, I'm very privileged in that like the Patriots are always winning growing up. You know what I mean? So like I've been a fan, but only because it's been. Also, you're surrounded in Boston, like that's the culture. You need to have some sort of knowledge about sports. You can't talk to anybody over the age of like 35.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
See, I have such little interest in sports, but I've only now or in the last few years like understand the utility of it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because you can't just talk about what you want to talk about to strangers.
Yeah, dude, there needs to be a cultural baseline and a lot of it's sports. So that's how you can sort of like, dude, even just like following. Just having an opinion on Taylor Swift now is so great because a lot of people who wouldn't normally be able to talk about football or be involved in a football conversation, her involvement has created a boost in football economy.
Yeah.
So that's why they always pander her every other play. It's because the dad's going to get mad. The wife's going to be excited. Then outside of like Trump Biden, there's another politic circle that you could sort of discuss. Like, why do they have to show her? You know what I mean? It's not about just knees anymore. It's about like her concert.
Yeah.
So it's nice. I think it's nice, actually.
Well, guys, if you want to DM Chris Cheney and ask him more about what he thinks about Taylor Swift, or if you want to tell him your opinion about Taylor Swift, how can they do that?
Yeah, at Not That Cheney, Cheney, across all social media. And then you can go to notthatcheney.com. That's like my website if you want to laugh at my work. You can go there and there's a little email button and the Instagram's there. So you could just check that out.
Hell yeah, dude. Anything else you want to plug?
Yeah, I have a monthly show at the Comedy Shop, which you so graciously did the intro for.
That's what my dream is to do the announcements for as many shows as I can.
Yeah, I like starting shows with an announcer bringing up the host. I feel like it's a little more official, and Bobby was gracious enough to do that last time. So yeah, there's a monthly show at the Comedy Shop every last Tuesday of the month, which is a very unfortunate date to have a monthly. But that's the one I've been with, and I've had it for like 5 years. So come by. And yeah, Sold Out Comedy is the Instagram. And then, yeah, just whatever, man. Just support live stand-up.
Hell yeah, dude. Support live stand-up. Chris, thank you for joining us.
Of course, thank you
Please
for having
follow
me.
him on Instagram and go to his monthly show. And remember, folks, early to bed, early to rise makes a man healthy, wealthy, and wise. I'm just playing Night Owls. You know I love you.
Thank you.